Hi, this is Donald James Parker. I thought I would share with you some of my thoughts on Robert Kennedy and MAHA. You know, everybody has heard of MAGA, but the term MAHA has just popped up. It's Make America Healthy Again. Robert Kennedy Jr. has been asked to serve in President Trump's cabinet as the Secretary of Health and Human Services in order to make that happen. And, you know, I just have to shout out a huge amen to that concept. I've been fighting the battle to make the public aware of some of the health issues that have caused our quality and even the length of our life to decline. And many of the problems exist because of the emphasis on the almighty dollar and greediness of powerful individuals and corporations. Natural remedies that cost very little in comparison to expensive drugs have been suppressed, in some cases outlawed because they provide cheap remedies that would render expensive pharmaceutical products geared mostly to suppressing symptoms pretty much extinct. You know, One movie that I wrote and produced entitled Best Friends Genetically Modified has garnered a boatload of scorn from those who love to mock my low-budget films. In that film, I crusade against the poisoning of our food supply through pesticides and other chemicals, fluoridation of our drinking water supplies, and the establishment and enforcement of chemotherapy and radiation as the only approved treatments for cancer. I also pose the question about the safety of vaccines when young children are given multiple vaccines at the same time. It seems that Mr. Kennedy has some of those same concerns, and he may assist in exposing some of these dangers to the public and hopefully beyond. I'm going to put a link to Best Friends Genetically Modified in the description here so you can take a look at it if you're interested. I must insert a caveat here. The phrase making America healthy again sounds like force may be applied to accomplish the mission. That is not wise and has been proven to be the incorrect approach to getting good results. Just take a look at America's experiment with prohibition. The goal was noble, but the results were counterproductive. We must not try to mandate that people go to the gym and shake that booty or pump that iron. We should not outlaw potato chips and Krispy Kreme donuts and diet or sugar-laden sodas. Oh my. Fast food restaurants should not be shuttered by government agents. Even smoking should not be outlawed. As much as I detest the practice, I'm afraid we have to let people be free to be stupid as long as there's no danger to other people. God gave us free will, and we should be free to exercise that as long as it's not causing problems for other people. Now, I understand where smoking in the confines of a room could cause problems for secondhand smoke, but almost all establishes now they forbid smoking in them, so that's a non-issue in most places. I have some definite ideas of what I'd like to see out of Kennedy's efforts. Research and education should be at the top of the list. He should facilitate scientific studies which are actually geared to help all people and not line the pockets of a few people. Perhaps the government could subsidize organic farmers so they can raise clean food that is affordable, so those with lower incomes can opt to eat healthier. I know I hate paying 50 to 100% more for organic. But one of my biggest concerns is that slapping a label on something as organic does not remove the toxins if the producers fudge the truth a bit. Is everything out there that's labeled organic really organic? That's the big question. Regulation of the standards has to be strengthened. Somehow the government needs to prevent big pharma interference and encourage insurance companies to cover the cost of alternative care. We should prevent the use of elements that are proven to be harmful, but in any case, we must allow the free flow of information concerning them so people can avoid them. That includes preventing the changing of names of things that are being avoided by knowledgeable people, such as monosodium glutamate, MSG, and aspartame, however you pronounce that word. But they're trying to change the name of it so that people can't detect it and quit buying those products that contain those things. Just like we allow people to smoke or booze it up, we should also allow people to sell and buy raw milk if they want to run the risk of perhaps ingesting some bacteria. Here again, education should be freely available so we know what the dangers and benefits might be in order to make wise decisions and mitigate the risks. We need to identify the poisons in our food and ban them, and forcing companies to find alternative ingredients. You know, the FDA, just days before Trump took office, is that a coincidence? Banned a red dye. So perhaps this process has already started. Perhaps the government can encourage doctors not to hand out antibiotics like candy for every visit to the office for some type of ailment. And then there are the antidepressant drugs, which don't really fix the problem, but cause their own problems. Their use is like slapping a little perfume on your armpits rather than taking a shower with soap and getting clean. I believe that most mental health problems are actually physical or spiritual issues. Our dependence on shrinks/counselors is deplorable. Glyphosate also needs to be banned. Our scientists have to come up with a more natural way of dealing with insects and of increasing the yield of our crops. Monsanto should be liable for the damage they've caused, and the government should not only encourage people to grow their own food, but provide assistance through education and whatever other methods that they can come up with. In the movie The Graduate, a young Dustin Hoffman is given the advice that the future lies in plastics. That was probably pretty good advice, since plastics have dominated our world as long as I can remember. The problem is that in solving some of our problems, plastics have introduced health issues. The latest information indicates microplastics or nanoplastics are reaching our brain and other organs from drinking from plastic bottles. This area must be more thoroughly investigated. With the rash of dementia cases, including among those that are not elderly, there definitely is a smoking gun that needs to be discovered and eliminated. Also, our country needs an attitude adjustment. You know, visiting the gym should be about health and not becoming a muscle man like Charles Atlas. We need to quit finding jokes like, "I heard a few minutes of laughter is worth 20 minutes of running, so I'm sitting in the park laughing at the joggers." And, "Oh darn, I forgot to go to the gym today." That makes 5 years in a row. You know, being a couch potato is not funny, nor noble. This is far from a comprehensive list. It's just my 2 cents on some things Robert Kennedy Jr. might and should get involved in through the process of trying to make America healthy again. The bottom line is that every one of us is responsible for our own health. The doctor is the second line of defense. An ounce of prevention is worth more than a pound of cure in the arena of health. Give people the freedom and the knowledge they need to make intelligent decisions about their health, which is our most valuable possession. Thank you, and God bless you.